Happiness or meaning? Which would you pick?
I'm actually a big believer in the principles of Christianity.
Elon Musk, our tech visionary, has just sent a shocking warning to American Christians. According to him, Christianity is in big trouble because many people are turning away from traditional beliefs. Musk is urging Christians to stand up for their faith or risk losing it forever. But what is more shocking is that this warning is coming from Elon Musk, a known atheist. Something must be really wrong. What made Elon make this profound warning? Will Christians listen and take action? Join us as we explore Musk's warning and what it means for the future of Christianity. The rising appeal of Christian values. Among conservatives, Elon Musk's message to American Christians today is one of boldness. It is not something he just woke up one day to say. These words have been in Elon Musk's heart, and he felt this urge to share it with Christians. Here he is talking about Christianity, specifically on what he calls being a cultural Christian. Musk does not claim to believe in all the religious aspects, but he says he values certain principles in Christianity, like family unity, moral order, and the importance of tradition. And according to him, these Christian values can actually help solve some of America's big problems today. What are the implications of Musk's words? And how has many reacted to this message from Elon? Keep watching to find out more on this. Musk's interest in Christianity is not personal. It ties directly to his bigger concerns about America's future. To start with his warning on the population growth of America, Musk has talked a lot about what he calls population collapse. He is worried that fewer people are ready to have kids or family, and this could have huge consequences for the country. He fears that if birth rates keep dropping, America could eventually face a shortage of people to work, innovate, and keep the economy strong. And he believes Christianity could be part of the solution. In Musk's world, Christianity encourages things like marriage, family, and having children. These are values he thinks that America needs right now. But Musk is not alone in this. This is actually part of a growing trend among certain conservative people who are turning back to Christianity not necessarily for religious reasons, but for the values and stability they believe can bring to society. These people worry that the traditional morals and community support that religion once provided are now disappearing, and they are worried about what that means for the future. They see the values in Christianity as something that could help restore a sense of order and purpose in our world that seems to be changing rapidly. One of these people is Douglas Murray, a commentator who calls himself a Christian atheist. Well, the term might sound strange, but what Murray means is that he values many of the ideas in Christianity, like the belief in human dignity and respect for each individual, without actually believing in the supernatural parts. He respects the moral teachings of Christianity and thinks society needs these kinds of values to stay grounded. For Murray, Christianity represents something stable, something that has guided people for centuries and could still offer guidance today. Then there is Jordan Peterson, a well-known psychologist and media personality. Peterson does not just openly declare himself a Christian, but he says he acts as if God exists, showing that he believes there is wisdom in the teachings of Christianity and that living by these values can give life more meaning. Peterson sees Christianity as providing a framework for understanding good and evil, helping people find purpose, and building a stable society. In his own view, people need a sense of order, and without this order, society could become chaotic. Even Richard Dawkins, who has spent most of his career as one of the world's most famous atheists, has recently come around to appreciating certain Christian traditions. Dawkins has always been critical of religion, calling it nonsense and arguing that the world would be better off without it. But now, he identifies as a cultural Christian in some ways. Dawkins enjoys things like listening to hymns, visiting cathedrals, and participating in traditional ceremonies. For him, it's not really about faith, It is the sense of peace and community that these rituals bring. Dawkins is worried that as people move away from these traditions, society might lose some of its cohesion and connectedness. So, what's causing all these figures to look back at Christianity, even if they are not necessarily believers? It is mainly because they see a society that is losing touch with most of its traditional values, and they are concerned about how bad it will affect the world. They feel that as people move away from religion, certain aspects of social life that were once held together by these shared beliefs are starting to unravel. Community bonds are becoming weaker, family life is changing, and there is a sense of isolation that seems more common today because of this. They all believe that Christianity, even in a cultural form, can provide a foundation for rebuilding these social bonds. Interestingly, some people believe that Western society has already become what they call Christianity light, meaning that even if people do not go to church or believe in traditional doctrines, many of these ideas and values of Christianity are still deeply ingrained in Western culture. Historian Tom Holland has also argued that modern concepts like human rights, equality, and dignity have roots in Christianity, even though society today is more secular. According to Holland, these ideas are like vapors left over from a time when Christianity was stronger. In his words, they are the shadow of a corpse, meaning that while Christianity as an active faith might be fading, its influence is still present. But there is a problem. As these leftover values become less connected to any belief system, people worry that they might lose their power to hold society together. Also, researchers studying sacred values have found out that people are often willing to make sacrifices for things they deeply believe in, things that feel almost sacred. For example, some people might feel strongly about justice or freedom, so much so that they are willing to defend these values even if it costs them personally. But without a belief system like Christianity to support these values, people worry they might not hold as much weight. They are concerned that these leftover values might not inspire the same level of commitment as before leaving society without a strong moral foundation. There is also a darker side to this trend, as some intellectuals fear that if conservative leaders start promoting Christianity just to maintain social stability, it could backfire. The danger here is that religion might be used more as a tool for control rather than something people genuinely believe in. In the past, some rulers and leaders have used religion to manipulate the public or to maintain their own power. And if this happened again, it could undermine the genuine values that Christianity promotes and create resentment among people who do not want religion forced upon them. Musk and others are well aware of this risk, and they seem cautious about pushing for a return to Christianity in any strict sense. Instead of doing this, they seem more interested in promoting the values associated with it. They feel it's possible to appreciate the moral teachings of Christianity without necessarily believing in every part of it. In fact, a recent study found that a significant number of people who call themselves Christian do not actually believe in key aspects of the religion, like the resurrection, and they do not even go to church regularly. Yet, they still feel that Christianity has something valuable to offer, something that is worth holding on to. For Musk, it's simple. He sees a connection between Christian values and a more stronger and stable society. In his view, Christianity encourages things like responsibility, discipline, and respect for family life, and all qualities he thinks America could use more of today. Musk worries that as society moves away from these values, problems like loneliness, isolation, and declining birth rates could become more severe. And by promoting a version of Christianity that focuses on these values rather than strict beliefs, he hopes to bring some stability back to society. Stay tuned as we delve into the most intriguing part: the role of Christianity in leading us back to true righteousness. Elon Musk also believes that Christianity is facing obstacles that require courage from its followers to hold on to their faith. Musk observes a world where many are prioritizing personal freedom and choices over community and shared beliefs. making it harder for Christian teachings to be respected. Musk believes that Christians need to stand firm and openly share their beliefs, especially when the pressure to stay silent grows. Keep watching to find out more on this. Courage in faith has been a core part of Christianity throughout history. There have always been Christians willing to face adversity for their beliefs, from the early days of persecution to now. Musk's warning reminds believers that they, too, need bravery in a world where speaking up can be met with criticism or even backlash. Standing up for beliefs often requires significant strength. But bravery is not just about personal faith for Musk. It is more about acting on it. He believes it is essential for Christians not only to believe, but also to live out our faith in real ways. The Bible encourages this, as well as it calls Christians to be the salt and light of the world, as seen in Matthew chapter 5 from verses 13 to 16. This is not just a nice saying, it's a powerful call to action. Elon Musk, our outspoken atheist, believes this message is more critical now than ever, especially for Christians who are drifting away from their core beliefs. He warns that if they remain silent, they risk losing their voice in the public square, and their values could disappear from society altogether. In the world today, many Christians are facing challenges that can lead them away from the path of righteousness. With the rapid pace of change in our society, even the most devout believers can find themselves straying from their values. Let's take a moment to explore some of the ways Christians can unintentionally drift away from their faith and moral convictions. First, let's consider the influence of culture. Every day, we are bombarded with messages from social media, television, and even music that often promote ideas and values contrary to Christian teachings. It is easy to get swept up in these trends. For example, think about how often we see people celebrating success, wealth, and popularity as the ultimate goals in life. While striving for success is not inherently wrong, but when it becomes the sole focus, it can push aside the teachings of Jesus about humility, love, and service to others. Many Christians start to prioritize their careers and personal ambitions over their spiritual lives. And with time, this can make them forget the importance of their faith and the values they once held dear. Also, let's talk about the impact of peer pressure. It is not just kids who experience peer pressure, adults do too. When Christians find themselves in environments where their beliefs are challenged or ridiculed, it can very be tempting to compromise those beliefs to fit in. For instance, consider a workplace where gossip, dishonesty, or unethical behavior is really common. As a Christian, we might initially stand firm in our values, but as we spend more time around our colleagues, there is a high possibility we might start to adopt those negative behaviors. We might justify lying on a report or cutting corners to meet a deadline, thinking it's just a small compromise. However, these small choices can lead to a gradual erosion of integrity, moving us further away from the teachings of Christ. Moreover, let's not overlook the issue of personal struggles. Everyone faces difficult times, whether it is dealing with loss, financial hardship, or health issues. During these periods of struggle, some Christians may feel abandoned by God or question their faith, and in their pain, they might turn to temporary something else, such as substance abuse or unhealthy relationships, to cope. Unfortunately, these choices can lead them deeper into darkness and away from the light of righteousness. It is like when someone feels lost in the woods and decides to wander further off the path instead of retracing their steps. Instead of seeking help through prayer or turning to their faith community, they rather prefer to isolate themselves, thinking that they can handle everything on their own. Another significant factor is the misunderstanding of grace and forgiveness. Many Christians know that God offers grace, but sometimes they take this for granted. They might think, "I can do what I want, because I can always ask for forgiveness later." This attitude can lead to a careless approach to sin. When we begin to believe that our actions do not have consequences because of God's grace, that is when we easily stray from righteousness. It is important to remember that while God's love is unconditional, it does not mean we should live recklessly. True repentance involves a sincere desire to change, not just a casual acknowledgement of wrongdoing. Let's also discuss the role of complacency. In a comfortable life, it is easy to become complacent. They might think that they are doing fine, and they don't need to engage with their faith in more ways. This lack of engagement can lead to a weak foundation. Imagine a tree that is not regularly watered or nurtured, and with time you will see that it becomes weak and vulnerable to storms. Likewise, this applies to Christians too. When they stop nurturing their faith, they become more susceptible to doubts and temptations that can lead them away from righteousness. Additionally, let us consider the allure of materialism. In our consumer-driven society, it is so easy to get caught up in the desire for more and more possessions, more recognition, even more experiences. This can lead Christians to focus on accumulating wealth and status, rather than helping others and living a life that reflects Christ's love. The constant push to have the latest gadgets or to go on extravagant vacations can distract them from what truly matters, which is loving God and loving their neighbor. When the pursuit of material things overshadows their commitment to God, they can lose sight of their true purpose. Furthermore, the rise of skepticism and cynicism in society can impact the faith of many Christians. With so much division and negativity around, some believers begin to question the very foundations of their faith. They might think, how can a loving God allow so much suffering in the world? This questioning is normal, but if it leads to a hardened heart or a lack of trust in God, it can create distance in their relationship with Him. And when faced with doubt, some may choose to walk away from their faith entirely, rather than seeking answers through prayer, discussion with others, or studying Scripture. However, let's not forget the importance of community. Christians are called to be part of a body, which is the church. When individuals isolate themselves or neglect fellowship with other believers, they can easily lose their way. A strong Christian community provides support, encouragement, and accountability. Without this support system, it becomes easier for individuals to stray from righteousness. Just like a single coal can easily go out when removed from the fire, so too can a Christian's faith weaken when separated from the community. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with Elon Musk's warning about the future of Christianity? Drop it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.